So, welcome everybody. First of all, thank you for watching. My name is Jonah Lansing. I'm the international biosecurity expert for pigs in Europe. So in this role I go and visit the large integrations in Europe, from Denmark to Spain and from England to Eastern Europe. And in this role I help them to go to the next level in biosecurity. So today for this webinar I want to talk to you about external biosecurity and internal biosecurity and what is so important, and give you some tips that you can bring back to your farms. So yeah, follow me and let's go. Welcome everybody here at our own pig farm. This is our HyCare farm where we implemented our biosecurity measurements, but we think that brings us to the highest hygiene level possible. This is a weaner farm and a fattening farm. We have around 400 weaners and 1,000 fatteners. And I'm going to show you today what measurements we take on external biosecurity and internal biosecurity. So let's first talk about external biosecurity, and I want to show you the measurements we take here. And let's start with our carcass management. This is our carcass cooler. It is outside the farm because our government says, okay, you have to store the carcasses outside the farm. So at the end of the day, when our farm manager is ready, all the carcasses that he collected, he will take them out, put them over here, disinfect the trolley, and then goes back to the farm. And then 1 or 2 times a week the truck comes and makes sure that this one is empty. So that's for carcass management, very important. It is cooled, and we ensure the highest biosecurity management because carcasses are very much responsible for spreading diseases throughout the farm. So that's why we think it's very important. So I'm going to take on some boots before entering this farm, and then we can go to the next part on external biosecurity. So I put on some cover for my boots. So every person that enters our farm have to put on these boots to ensure that you don't bring anything inside the fences. So that's about people, but what about trucks? So every truck that enters our farm will go through this disinfection gate. So the trucks arrive, it triggers the disinfection gate and it will spray the truck for 30 seconds before it enters the farm. But as you can see also around, we have it all fenced up, our whole farm, to ensure that no wild boars can enter our farm. And that's the biggest measurement we take to ensure that no ASF can enter the farm. So let's move on to our insect hotel, and I'm going to explain a little bit what we do for rodent control. So over here we have a nice cozy hotel. It's our insect hotel, and we want to trigger insects to come to this farm. So this is our insect hotel. This is where all the insects lay their eggs. They're covered up, and when they are ready to come out, they come out and they are served as a good meal for the bird. And behind me we have our flowers. They're not only pretty, but they also serve as another function. They are ensured that the mouses and rats are kept outside the barn. Because the scent of the flowers, they scare them off, but also the sharpness of the leaves, they trigger the nose hairs, so they are all scared off. So this is the first border to ensure no mice and rats will enter our barn. So enough about flowers, let's go to our feed silos and quarantine management and explain a little bit what we do to ensure the highest hygiene management over here. So these are feed silos for the animals. And as you can see underneath, we have no feed leftovers. Our farm manager cleans them once a week. So without feed leftovers, we do not attract any mice or rats to this farm, which is very important. So make sure you always have a clean floor underneath your feed silos. And next to our feed silos, we have our incoming goods quarantine storage. So all the goods that enter our farm, like boots, coffee, cups, whatever we need in the barn, it first goes in quarantine for 2 weeks before it can enter the main storage. So those things we do on this farm to ensure the biosecurity management on the external part. So here are some more measurements we take for rodent control. So this is the nests for the bats because they like insects, so we want them on our farm. And here on the ground we have a pot that is filled with a liquid that has the scent of fire, and when a mouse or a rat smells fire, it wants to run away. So the first step we take to ensure no mice and rats will enter the barn. And around the corner we have some more measurements, like some houses all around the barn for particularly birds that catch flies. So the first step to ensure no flies will enter the barn. And here on the ground we have a device that has a scent in it, and it will attract rats, and when they enter this trap on pressure, it will put a pin inside its head and it is dead. So we can do around 20 of these, it will reset itself, and then when it's laying on the ground, a bird will come, pick it up. So we have it all on biocontrol to make sure that we have no mouses and rats on this farm. So this is the place where we load the fattening pigs when they are ready to go to the slaughterhouse. So the truck will come here, they put on our boots, pigs are loaded, and we do not allow the farm manager and the truck loader to come in contact with each other. So it brings the pigs, closes off, and then the truck driver will take over the pigs. So we ensure that no pigs are coming back once they leave our farm. And then after it's all ready, we clean up over here, and then the truck will drive away to the slaughterhouse. So this was the external part of our farm. Let's go inside and talk about the internal part. But first I'm going to take a shower before I can enter the farm. So this is the entrance of the farm. So every person that comes into our farm will have to register who he is, so we know what person is coming into the farm. So everybody takes off their boots before they will come into the shower. And here we have two showers because not a lot of people will enter our farm. But the way we work with our showers is a 3-step system. So the first step is take out your clothes, take a shower is the second step. We say okay, at least for 2 minutes. And then after that we have over here a box for every visitor, which has underwear, socks, a t-shirt, and then you put on the coverall and then you're ready to go inside. And it also has 2 towels inside, one for the first time and one when you go out. And then after that our farm manager will wash it all and make sure it is cleaned up for the next visitor. So this is where, when the pigs are loaded, the truck driver and our farm manager can drink some coffee, so they do not come in contact with each other. And then now I'm gonna go inside the farm, but first, because I want to take my phone with me, I want to put it in the UV box. So I'm going to go inside the farm, put my phone in the box, but now it's only the phone, but whatever we bring inside the farm on small items has to go through the UV box. So I'm going to take a shower and then we go to the internal part on biosecurity and we go back to Ruud in the studio. So we just took a quick shower. I'm going to put on some boots. So I got all nice farm clothes on and then explain what we do here before we enter the barn. So this is the main entrance. We have our coveralls here because we work with the color system. This is the entrance for the fattening farm, so we have the color blue. I'm going to put on some blue boots and a coverall. And this is also the place where we wash the clothes and make the boxes ready for the new visitors. So I'm going to put on some clothes and then let's walk to the wiener section. So right now we're going to enter the wiener section. So I'm going to change from blue to yellow. It's the first step we take. So we leave this over here and then step over. So welcome in our wiener section over here. We have 2 rooms for wieners, 200 and 200. So every 7 weeks our farm manager receives new piglets from 7 kilo on this farm. As you can see, it's all yellow. Yellow is the color for the weaners. So if yellow clothes, yellow equipment, yellow floor. So no equipment or clothes is shipped from one side to the other side. So I want to explain the procedure of loading and getting new piglets. When the piglets are 25 kilo, the farm manager will take them to the fattening part of the farm, and then our clean disinfection protocol will come in place. So the cleaning disinfection protocol will start by wetting the room. After that, he will apply our top foam. He will leave it there for 30 minutes, and then after that we'll make sure the whole room is spick and span, 100% clean. And then put on a disinfectant. He will also clean the floor, disinfect the floor. And then when new piglets arrive and they are in place, the floor is already cleaned and disinfected, and then our HyCare principles start. So before entering the room, I'm going to put on some gloves to make sure if I touch anything, it is as clean as possible. So let me bring my players with me. I will disinfect my hands, and then let's go into the room with the piglets. So before I'm going to enter the room, I'm going to put on some boots only for this room, because the main corridor is the biggest spreader of the whole farm. So those boots are only for the main corridor, and before I'm going to enter this barn, this room, I'll put on some boots only for here. And then after that, we can go inside. So welcome here in the rooms with the piglets. Let me explain you the things we do here to get the highest hygiene level, management level. So as we told before, I have now boots only for this room to prevent spreading throughout the farm. We also have a coating here on the floor. This coating prevents any germs from entering the concrete. So it also helps our farm manager. He can clean faster, use less water, it's more time efficient, and get a better clean disinfection result in the end. As you can see, we have no flies here because our fly management is at a high level. We have our predator flies over here that helps killing off the flies, and some larval kill in the manure, and those combined together will result in no flies, because as we all know, flies are a big spreader of diseases. So we want to make sure that no flies are in your room. And also we do ensure that the water is at the highest quality, but we'll explain a little bit about that later. And as we can also see here, equipment especially for this room. So this will only remain here and will not spread throughout the whole barn. So our piglets arrive here at 7 kilos, and they remain here for 6 to 7 weeks until they are 25 kilo, and then they are moved from here to the fattener section, where they will remain until they are ready to go to the slaughterhouse. So this is a separation between the outside, our green hygiene zone, and the weaned section, the yellow zone. So I have to put on some green boots so I'm allowed to go outside. So at the end of the day, our farm manager, when he collected his carcasses in this part, he will take them out with the carcass tray, bring them to the beginning of the farm, and then after that he will ensure that with a disinfectant he will disinfect the carcass trolley to ensure that no germs will come back into the farm. So I'm gonna go back to yellow, and we're gonna explain about our water management and acids. So this is our water board over here. We can control every room on this farm. So over here we have our acids and our cleaner chlorine dioxide. We want to make sure that the pipe system in the farm is cleaned, because the biofilm in a barn can cause germs, viruses, yeast to grow in the water pipe system. I want to make sure that it is clean and get clean water to our piglets. And on top of that, ASF can also come through the water. So here we have our DioClean and our pumps, and we can decide which room we'll put on DioClean. And the same goes for acids. So here, the most important part here is water disinfecting. And make sure clean water is transported to our piglets to ensure the highest hygiene level and health management. So very important when you go look at biosecurity management is the people, because the people have to do it. You have to place at strategic points hand disinfections, because if they have to walk like 100 meters, they will not do it. The same goes for equipment on the wall. Make sure you have it at strategic points, so they don't have to walk a long distance to put it and place it over there. That's very important in making sure that the people understand it and the people do it, because it starts with the people, and if they don't do it, the protocol will fall apart. So welcome here at our fatness section. When the piglets are 25 kilos, we move them from the, as you can see, the yellow part to the blue part. Here the color is blue, so we have the coated floor blue. My clothes are blue. Let me just disinfect my hands before we go. And also the equipment is blue. So we have 1,000 fatteners over here. And our farm manager Leon, he just moved piglets to the slaughterhouse yesterday. So we have some rooms ready. So let us explain the cleaning disinfection protocol here at the fattener farm. So clean disinfection starts with a good product, but also with the good application of the product. So this is what our farm manager is using here at our farm. It's our green line move, which can be provided with the foam and the disinfectant that he's using. So if he wants to use the foam, he can put it on the foam and he disinfecting the same, and then the cleaning. So he always has the right doses, and he can move it around the whole farm, so he can get the best results in every room on this farm. So here we have the same clean disinfection protocol as we have at the weaners. So when the fatteners leave for the slaughterhouse, the room is wetted, we apply a foam, we clean it 100%, we disinfect it, and then when the piglets arrive for 25 kilos, they will come here. Our farm manager also cleans and disinfects the main corridor where we are standing right now. And then also here our HyCare protocol will come into place, where we also put on some boots before entering the barn. So let's go inside a room to see what measurements we take here at our fattener farm to get the highest biosecurity level here. So let's go inside and have a look. So first we always disinfect our hands as well. And then here we have the same protocol as the weaners. Also, these boots are only here for the main corridor, and I'm going to switch to boots only for the room. So we are standing here in the room with our fatteners. As you can see here, we've also coated the floors. We make sure that the water system is good, clean water, disinfected water to our pigs to get the highest biosecurity management level over here. So I have now separate boots for this room only, and here as well we have the tools only for this room. And as over here we have no flies as well. So make sure that at the fattener farm also the biosecurity level is high enough to prevent cross-contamination between all the rooms you have on your farm. So this was the end of our tour. Very important, when you finish at your farm, make sure that the boots are cleaned. So I will clean off my boots before I put them back. That tomorrow when I start over, I have some clean boots as well. So I'm gonna throw my clothes in the washing machine, take a shower, and then we go back to route in the studio.